Beautiful afternoon. We'll begin lying down in constructive rest pose. For now, just let the body relax into its neutral position with the knees bent, feet on the floor in line with the sit bones. Allowing yourself to sink into the pull of gravity. So here we have the spine, the pelvis, in their neutral relationship. We're going to work with a flat back because I know there's a few of you who have been benefiting from that. So I'm going to give you a half-hour practice with a flat back here. But for the beginning here, I want you just to feel the relaxed neutral. Check that your shoulder blades are flat and broad, arms wider than your mat with the palms turned up. Back of the head comfortably resting on the floor, or if you need some support in order to lengthen the back of the neck, you can take a little folded towel and place it behind the head. Let's find the inner core muscles first. In order to engage the inner core, the pelvic floor, and the transversus, it's not necessary to be in any particular position. So we can be in our neutral or a flat back and use the inner core. Let's establish it here, and then we'll get ourselves into the flattened back. We feel the 4 points that form the pelvic diamond, the 4 bony landmarks to which that sling of muscle connect, the tailbone, each sit bone, and the pubic bone. Picture that diamond. Take an inhale. Then exhale, shrink the diamond of the pelvic floor towards its center. And relax with the inhale. I'm going to picture the belt of the transversus abdominis, nice broad swath of belt all the way around. Take an inhale, picturing that belt containing the lower back and the sacrum. Then with the exhale, gently gather that belt snugly around the lower back and imagine it buckling beneath the belly button. And then relax that and soften. So we're still in neutral, nothing has moved in the spine or the pelvis. Inhale, prepare for the pelvic floor again. And with exhale, shrink the pelvic floor towards its center. And relax with the inhale. Picturing the belt of the transversus, and exhale, gather the belt snugly around the hips, lower back, low belly. And relax that with the inhale. Still in our neutral spine and pelvis, let's fit them together. Inhale, prepare for the inner core. And exhale, shrink the pelvic floor and gently gather the belt snug and feel that neutral pelvis, neutral spine, nice and supported by the inner core muscles. And then relax that. So it's very easy to flatten the back by pushing off of your feet and using the big muscles at the back of the pelvis, in the buttocks and the backs of the legs to do that. So just feel what that's like. Push off your feet and flatten your back. And then relax to neutral. What I'd like you to do instead of that is a bit more subtle, engaging the rectus abdominis, which is the abdominal muscle that connects from the sternum down to the pubic bone, and tilting the pelvis that way rather than pushing down with the strong muscles of the legs. So we're going to practice doing that a couple times. The feet are on the floor, but keep them relaxed against the floor. Picture the muscle that moves vertically up the belly from the pubic bone to the sternum. And as you exhale, just think about pulling the pubic bone towards the navel and let that work from the front of the belly, tilt the pelvis down. It's a different feeling than when you push with your feet. You should feel that work in the low abdomen. And then relax that. You may not get all the way to flat. It's fine. You'll be using the right muscles, even if you're just moving that direction. So again, draw the pubic bone towards the navel and feel the muscles in the front of the low belly doing that work to tilt the pelvis. And then relax that. And we'll do that one more time. Tilt the pelvis by drawing the pubic bone towards the navel, feeling that tilting of the pelvis and the flattening of the lower back. and then relax that. Okay, we'll do our arm lifts using a flat back, and we're going to use the inner core and the tilt of the pelvis. We're going to bring the arms a bit closer into the sides, palms facing each other. We're in the neutral to begin with. We're going to engage the inner core, the pelvic floor, and the belt, and then without pressing off of the feet or squeezing the buttocks, tilt the pelvis, draw the pubic bone in towards the navel, feel that lower back going towards flat, but you're concentrating on the pelvic tilt from the front and the top. Now we're going to maintain that as we inhale the arms straight up to vertical, and maintain it as you reach the arms back towards the wall behind you. At this point, this is not the imprint. Keep getting the work from tilting the pelvis. Inhale, arms float up to the ceiling. And as you exhale and lower the arms, relax the work and let the pelvis settle back into its neutral. Do the same thing again. We're going to find the inner core, then tilt the pelvis by drawing pubic bone to navel, and inhale the arms up, keeping the pelvis steady and tilted as you exhale the arms back towards the wall behind you. Inhale, bring the arms up, and with the exhale, release the arms and relax the work in the core. Let's do that one more time. First, engage the inner core, tilt the pelvis by drawing pubic bone to belly button, and inhale, arms up towards the ceiling, and maintain that pelvic tilt as you reach the arms back, and then float the arms up. Keep the arms up and vertical, and relax the work in the low belly. Soften the shoulders, and just stay for a moment here. We're in the neutral spine, and shoulders easy. Humeral heads drop down into the sockets. Let the body sink into gravity's pull. And then bring the hands behind the head. Now we'll add the obliques as well. We're going to start with the inner core, then tilt the pelvis, and then knit and imprint the ribs, and keeping the back flat, the pelvis tilted, take a head lift. And lower back down, your back is still flattened, and then relax that effort. Letting the back return to its neutral position. Again, we'll find the inner core, tilt the pelvis. So there you have your lower back flattening, and then knit and imprint. Now your ribs are reaching down to the mat as well, and keeping the back flat, exhale into a head lift, and lower down, and then release and relax. Set that up one more time. Inner core, tilt the pelvis, knit and imprint, and keep the back flat as you lift the head, and continue to flatten the back, and float the right foot up off of the floor. Pelvis is steady, lower back down. You're still drawing the pubic bone in towards the navel. Keep the back flat, and float the left foot up. Continue to tilt the pelvis from the front, drawing pubic bone to navel. Continue to knit and imprint back to the right side, and lower back down. And tilt the pelvis, knit and imprint, left side up, and lower. Do each leg once more. So the rectus abdominis both tilts the pelvis and lifts the head. So you're using both directions, or both ends of the muscle now. And release back down. Let the lower back and the upper back release into constructive rest. And soften. So we're going to try another variation of the alternate leg lift. This time without the head lifting, so you're just going to be concentrating on the flattening of the lower back. We engage the inner core, tilt the pelvis, knit and imprint. Keep the neck, shoulders all relaxed. Lower back is flat as we lift the right foot. And continue to flatten the back as you flex your foot and extend the leg out. And then bend the knee and continue to flatten the back as you lower down. Remember, you're flattening the back by drawing pubic bone to navel, and then lift the left foot up, and flex and extend, reach out through the heel. Keep pulling the pubic bone towards the navel. Inhale and bend the knee. Continue to flatten the back using the rectus abdominis in the front to do that, and keep it flat as you lift the right, and flex, extend. And bend the knee, and keep tilting the pelvis, knitting and imprinting, and bringing the left foot up, and flex, extend, reach out through the heel. Keep the back flat, the neck and shoulders relaxed. Lower the left foot down, doing it one more time each leg. Back is flat, tilting the pelvis, knitting, imprinting, flex, extend, and bend the knee. And keep the back flat as you lower down. Keep tilting the pelvis and take the left side up. And flex, extend, and bend the knee. And keep the pelvis flattening as you lower down. and then relax. Take a moment, release completely. Okay, we're going to do the 100 with the back flat. So we'll set the inner core, tilt the pelvis, knit and imprint. Keep the lower back and the ribs pressing down into the mat as you lift the right foot up. Keep it up and bring the left foot up. Bring your arms down to your side. So in your tabletop with a flat back position, press the hands down into the floor. Activate the backs of the arms. Keep the lower back flat. Lift your head, chin into the chest. You can keep your knees bent if you like. Keep that lower back flat. Extend the legs out. Keep flattening the back. If you can, externally rotate the legs, and then we'll pulse 5 times as we exhale and 5 times as we inhale. Lower back is flat because we're pulling the pubic bone into the navel. Inhale for 5. Exhale for 5. Flatten the back. And inhale. Drop the shoulders down. Exhale for 5. And inhale. Exhale. And inhale. Keep scooping the belly into the spine. Exhale. And inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Once more. Inhale. And bring the legs to parallel. Keep the back flat as you bend the knees and place the head down. Keep flattening the spine and lower the right foot. Keep flattening the lower back and lower the left. And then relax completely. Let the body relax into gravity. And let's take a small ball or a folded towel or pillow and place it between the knees. We're going to move into a pelvic lift. So please, if you have something behind your head, take it out now. We begin in the neutral, engage the inner core. Tilt the pelvis, squeeze the ball, knit and imprint, and raise the hips up off of the mat. We're drawing the navel towards the, we're drawing the pubic bone towards the navel the whole time. So scoop that belly in, imprint the ribs and lower down. Keep hugging the navel towards the spine, drawing the pubic bone in towards the navel until the very last moment, and then you release down into neutral, and you can relax the squeeze and the core work. And let's set it up again. Inner core, tilt the pelvis, squeeze the ball, knit and imprint, and then press into the feet to raise the hips up. And keep scooping the belly in, drawing the pubic bone towards the navel as you roll down. Keep squeezing on the ball until you're all the way down. Release the tailbone and then relax completely. One more time. Inner core, tilt the pelvis, squeeze the ball, knit and imprint, press into the feet and lift the hips up. Be sure you're not rolling to the outside of your feet. And keep tilting the pelvis as you roll down. One vertebra at a time. Keep tilting the pelvis until the very last moment and then release. And relax the squeeze. Okay, I'm going to take the ball out, put it off to the side. Re-engage your inner core, tilt the pelvis. With the pelvis tilted, I'm going to slide the left leg out away so the left leg is flat on the floor. Continue to tilt the pelvis, bring the right knee towards the breastbone. And keep the back flat as we go into the leg circles. I'm going to reach the leg up, but don't let the spine arch. Feel your ribs knitting and imprinting. 5 little circles with a flat back. Of course, we also want to stabilize the pelvis and reverse side to side. So we're keeping the tilt and we're not letting the pelvis bend from side to side. After the second direction, let's bend the right knee and use the left hand to pull into a spinal twist, bringing your right knee towards the floor on the left. Relax the right shoulder where it's comfortable. Slow breaths into the twist. And then roll to the back. Use both hands Pull the right knee towards the breastbone. Tilt the pelvis. Feel that lower back. Let it flatten down to the mat and keep it flat as you lower the right foot. We're continuing to flatten and slide the left heel in and then relax into neutral. And then we'll set it up again. Inner core and tilt the pelvis. See if you can do this pelvic tilt without pushing off of your feet. Pelvis stays tilted as we slide the right heel away to straighten the right leg out into the floor. Keeping the back flat, bring your left knee into the chest and hug it in for a moment. And then renew the effort of pubic bone to belly button. Knit and imprint the ribs as you extend the left leg up. And keep the pelvis steady side to side and the back flat as we circle the leg 5 times each direction. And then reverse for 5. And then we bend the left knee, use the right hand, pull the knee over to the side, the right side, and breathe in the twist. Left arm where it's comfortable. And then roll to the back. We're bringing the left knee into the breastbone. And consciously connecting with the low core and the belly drawing towards the spine. Keep your back flat as you lower the left foot to the floor and continue to flatten the back as you slide the right heel in. We're still in the flat back. And then we release to neutral. Okay. We're going to move on to the left side. Since we have the ball, let's use the ball here. We'll start with the ball or your towel between the knees. We have a 45-degree hip flexion, so the knees are at the front of the mat and the feet are underneath you. Just a nice easy angle here. We're going to engage the inner core, find the pelvic floor and the belt, and then squeeze down into the ball, and then lift the knee just a little bit so that you don't drop the ball. And again, keep the inner core steady around the pelvis, and little lift. Just do 5 of these. Press down, and little lift up, and press down, and unweight the knee. Last one. And then relax everything for a moment. And we'll move the legs into 90-degree hip flexion. Now the knees and the feet are at the front of your mat. Reconnect with your inner core and squeeze the knees into the ball and unweight. And press and unweight. Steady in the pelvis. Keep that right hip a little forward and unweight. And press, unweight, and one more time. And then relax. And let's open all the way out into full hip extension, 0-degree hip flexion. Engage your inner core. Lift your organs up off of the floor and squeeze down into the ball. And then unweight the knee towards the ceiling and press down and unweight. Press and unweight. Squeeze and unweight. And relax. So let's take the ball out. Straighten both legs out. Bring the feet just a little bit forward of the hips. Re-engage the pelvic floor, the belt, and lift your organs, and lift both legs up, and lower them down. And lift, and lower, lift, lower, lift. Lower, do the work with the abdominals, not the shoulders. Maintain here, both legs lifted, and flex the feet. Squeeze the toes, point the feet, fan the toes, and flex back. Squeeze, point, fan, and flex. Squeeze, point, fan, flex. Keep the toes open and reach out. Squeeze the toes and pull back. Open and reach, squeeze and retract. Last one, open and reach, squeeze and retract. And lower the legs. Okay, we're going to turn over to the other side. Lie on the right side, and again we'll use the ball between the knees. Starting in that middle position, 45-degree hip flexion. Find your inner core to stabilize the pelvis, and then squeeze down into the ball and unweight. And press and unweight. Lower down, press down. And lift the left knee. Do it twice more. Squeeze. And lift. Squeeze. And lift. And then relax. And bend the legs to full 90-degree hip flexion. Re-engage your inner core. And squeeze. And lift. And squeeze. And lift. Press. And unweight, twice more. And unweight, last one. And relax. Take the ball out and straighten both legs. Feet slightly forward of the hips. Re-engage your inner core, lift the organs up, and then raise both legs up and bring them back down. So we can do the work with the obliques. The core is the power here. Try not to do it with your shoulders. And lift and lower. Last time, up and stay up and flex the feet. Squeeze the toes, point the feet, fan the toes out and flex back. Squeeze, point, fan, flex. Squeeze, point, fan, flex. Keep the toes open as you reach and squeeze and retract. Open, reach, squeeze, and pull back one last time. And lower the legs. Okay, we're going to turn onto the stomach. Hand underneath the forehead. Relax the legs. Engage your inner core, and then I want you to connect your pubic bone towards your navel. So you're going to tuck your tail between your legs. Feels it's a little different feeling here, but I want to try to keep that lower back curve lengthened and keep tucking the tail between the legs. Keep your arms down on the floor and float the head and chest up just a tiny bit, so we're not feeling the lower back compressing at all. And lower the head down. You're engaging your buttocks to help pull your tail in between your legs here. Keep the elbows down, raise the chest and head. So we want to find work in the upper back and keep pulling the pubic bone towards the spine. Do that one more time. And then release. And let's go to a child's pose. Bring the hips back to the heels. And then we're going to move on to the back. We'll reset the inner core and tilt the pelvis and knit an imprint. Keep the back flattened and raise the right foot up off of the mat. And then place your right ankle to your left knee. You're going to keep your back flat and lift the left foot up. So I want you to feel the back flat there. Now bring your hands behind your left thigh. Keep engaging your inner core, but move your legs out a little bit until we're back to our neutral spine. I just want to do one thing here with the neutral spine. We're going to stretch the hamstring without adding the stretch of the back. So keep your neutral spine and extend the left leg straight up towards the ceiling and bend back down. And again, stretch up and bend back down. And last one, stretch up and bend back down. And now draw the pubic bone towards the navel again and pull the left thigh in a bit closer and stretch the right hip. Slow breath there. And then when you keep the back flat and lower the left foot down and keep flattening the back and bring the right foot down and then relax into neutral. And again, inner core, tilt the pelvis, knit and imprint, keeping the back flat, raise your left foot up, bring your left ankle to your right knee. Back stays flat as we raise the right foot up. Keep the back flat and reach down or back around the right thigh. And then release to a neutral. You can keep your belt wrapped around. We're just releasing the pelvic tilt. And then extend the right leg up to the ceiling and bend the knee to lower back down. And stretch up, stretching the hamstring. And bend the knee, come back down. One more time. And then we're going to keep a hold of the thigh, engage pubic bone to navel to flatten the back. And stretch the left hip. And then keep the back flat. Keep drawing pubic bone to navel as you lower the right foot and the left foot. And then relax into neutral. Take a moment. And we're going to go through the abdominal series with a flat back the whole time. Take a break if you need to. Engage inner core. Tilt the pelvis without pressing into the feet. Knit and imprint the ribs. And with the back flat, raise the right foot. And then the left. Keep the back flat. Keep connecting pubic bone to navel as you lift the head. Go into the single leg stretch. Both hands to one bent knee and the other leg is straight out. And lower back staying flattened down to the floor. You're scooping the navel in and drawing the pubic bone towards the belly button. Back flat, lower back flat, back ribs imprinted. And then keep that back flat. Recommit to the pubic bone to the navel as we go into the double leg stretch, reaching the arms and the legs both away from the center, bending the knees and bringing the hands back to meet the knees, keeping the lower back flat and the back ribs imprinted the whole time. Exhale to reach out away from the center and inhale to come back in. Scoop the belly in. And then keep the back flat as we transition into the single straight leg. Keep drawing the pubic bone towards the navel. One leg up, one leg down. And give a little pull and stretch the hamstring some more. Lower back stays flat. And on both legs straight up. Lower back is still flat. No problem here, but keep it flat as you bring the feet down towards the floor. Keep connecting the pubic bone towards the navel and come back up. This might be a little smaller than usual. The back wants to arch as the feet go down, but keep the back flat. Keep holding the pubic bone towards the navel the whole time. Scooping the belly button in, tilting the pelvis. And then maintain the tilted pelvis as we go into the crisscross. Lower back stays flat, pelvis is steady. Bicycling the legs and reaching. Nice big reach with the armpit towards the opposite bent knee. And let's hug the knees. Relax the back of the neck and flop the knees out wide. Relaxing the inner thighs. You can do this with your back still flat. And reverse the circles. And then keep the knees into the chest. Go ahead and grab a hold of the ball in the hands. Lower back is flat. Reconnecting with the inner core. the tilting of the pelvis. Lower one foot down with a flat back and the other with the flat back. Keep the back flat, straighten one leg out. Keep the back flat and straighten the other leg out. Float the arms up towards the ceiling, scoop the belly in. And we're going to go into a roll up, drawing the pubic bone towards the navel, coming up through the spine to a seated position, lifting tall, and then reaching the breastbone forward, stretching yourself out long. You can let go of the ball. Relax the neck and shoulders. Make sure your elbows are bent and your shoulders are not hunched, but relaxed away from the ears. Waist it up and bend both knees and fold forward. Bring the forehead towards the knees. Again, relaxing the upper back. Now draw the pubic bone towards the navel and lift your chest up. So we're still keeping the tail tucked, but opening the chest for a moment. And then relax into that forward bend again. And reconnect inner core, scoop the belly, and raise just the chest a little bit. Feel the engagement around the shoulder blades, and then relax. Continue to keep your tail tucked, scooping the belly in, and open the chest. And then release. So find your inner core. Gather your belt around and across the ankles. Take the arms out wide and come up to a standing position. Lift tall. Line the feet up. Reconnect with your pelvic floor, your belt. Without tilting your pelvis, feel your pubic bone connecting towards the navel. Don't tuck your tail between your legs, but engage on this vertical line. Lift the breastbone, and then roll the arms out in the socket to open the chest. And then release. And that's where I'll leave you. Thank you. Thanks. Take care. So we'll be here again next Wednesday. All of the classes this week and next are here on Facebook. So I hope I'll see you soon. Hope your back feels great. Thanks.